this is every Minecraft mob and their secrets. And these are the Minecraft mob facts that you possibly didn't know. And folks, as you can see from this number, we are getting painfully close to 10 million subscribers. We can hit this week if you subscribe. So if you enjoyed the video, consider checking out that sub button below. It's free and it helps out a ton. And we'll start with our first mob, the Allay. The Allays were originally added back for Minecraft Legends. So the player in Minecraft Legends is focused on doing something else, so this is the way that they could go and pick up things and give it to the player to pick up the resources, which is how they work in the base game. I give it that, I throw away this, it goes and picks it up. What's weird to me though is that if they planned it for Minecraft Legends, then why would they put it in the mob vote? That just feels weird to me. But sure enough, it won, and now we've got it. Now if I'm not mistaken, they also were intended to be for the Nether update. They were originally the Wisp. Well, now it's gonna be the Was, because see you later, buddy. Number 2, we've got the Armadillo. Well, this looks a little barbaric off the bat, but the idea is that if you have an armadillo inside of this, it takes reduced damage while rolled up. And so, if it's rolling up because we have the husks here, it'll actually be practically immortal. And this is actually the thing that we've used to build different farms. We showed off one farm in the past that let the armadillos taking damage like this give a bunch of silverfish with the infested effect, because that gives the silverfish every time that it takes damage. And then we use those silverfish to use oozing, giving us a slime farm. This is horrible. For one, there's no way that it's cooking evenly. It's gonna there's gonna be a very undercooked center in there. Look at it, it's red. I don't want rare food, Observer. I'm sorry, I gotta go. Seal it. Oh no, Observer! Well, that's just rich. Well, this might look like an axolotl statue, but actually, it's because they're related to wardens in some way, at least this theory says. By inverting the colors on a warden, they actually share a shocking resemblance to our axolotls, particularly the white and pink axolotl that we can find. Not any of these, not any of these. This one. Can you turn around, please? Wow, this is a very... Can you turn around, please? Wow, this is a very well-behaved Enderman. It's just looking at the wall. Yeah, look at it now. See? If you look at it through the Enderman eyes, we've got the axolotl warden. And this also ties in because there was actually a hidden message in the game's files that said the axolotls are not to be trusted. So because bats are an ambient mob, they actually cannot trigger any redstone components, though this only happens in Java. So if we get a whole bunch of these guys, we get them floating around, even though they're on a pressure plate, any other situation this would cause the bats to trigger it. Any other mob, even items thrown on the pressure plate would trigger it. The bats, no luck. They're purely meant to be entirely ambient, which means entirely useless if you ask me. Though they are triggering the skulk sensor, and the same could be true if we actually got our warden back. Yeah, you guys aren't gonna like these or the axolotls. The wardens will actually go after them because they do emit sound. So that's about the only thing that they do. If I'm not mistaken, bats don't even generate inside of the ancient city, so you never actually see this happen naturally. I think we're gonna, I don't think we're gonna need a cleanup crew for this one, Observer. We should step back a little bit. I think this is a mating ritual. Oh, look, he's peacocking, he's peacocking. Oh, his heart is beating fast. Will it blast it? I think so. There we go. All right, we get our camel. Eventually, it'll just sit down. Oh, there we go. So if I go and sit on it and move it around, you gotta jump dismount off the thing. That's a very precise. Oh yeah, there you go. And just like that, right up top. And as soon as it sinks back down, no one will be any the wiser. It is pretty obvious on the dismount though. Shout out to iCraftMC for that design. If we were to summon our cat and then go to sleep, I guess I'll take the right side. Then what'll eventually happen is that cats can drop secret loot, and there's a 70% chance for cats to drop an item when sleeping next to one. And the fun fact is that on servers where they disable things like phantoms, this is actually the only way to get phantom membrane on those servers. Oh, wow. What'd you guys do today at work? I just slept a bunch, you know? Hey, there we go. We got a rabbit's foot. That's pretty lucky. There you go. If you want to add a little something for your sleeping, just get a cat. All right, so if we were to get a baby chicken, one of the smallest mobs hitbox-wise, it might not look like it with its head, but actually, because its hitbox is so small, it is completely invulnerable inside of this minecart. There is no way for us to hit it without hitting the minecart instead. So if I were to punch it, it's always going to punch the minecart instead of the chicken. Even if I got something like a bow and arrow, swing, no luck. I actually really liked the actions and stuff pack we used that made them look like little baby chicks. That's a lot more fitting than just this weird tall head thing. All right, so cod originally were just the original fish. And these were ideated back before we had full entities in the game. They would have just been particles that would have swam around in like coral reefs like so. Just picture like these things swimming around. Like, oh, how quaint. I mean, it would have been charming in its own way. I think the full mob is nice. So with the cow, cow, they originally used to be black in texture instead of brown. All right, let's see. If I go onto program art, am I able to see this? Nope, they look the same. But we'll flash on screen what it did used to look like. I actually think that was kind of charming. I don't know. I liked the original coloration of the cows. Mojang did not seem to. They changed the way the cows looked several different times. They moved their horns around a bunch. They just couldn't decide if the horns were supposed to be outside of the body, on the inside, if anyone's supposed to have horns. Yeah, in 1.21.5, they definitely changed around the cows. And actually, now that we have an actual brown cow in the game, I feel like having a black cow would actually be kind of nice. So if we grab our donkey, unlike horses, all naturally spawned donkeys have the exact same speed and jump. And the only way to get faster donkeys would be breeding them together with horses to get mules. So all of these, they might have different health amounts, but they're all going to be exactly as fast and exactly as jumpable. Jump-filled? They'll jump about as high as I can. I mean, don't put us on any starting NBA teams or finishing NBA teams. 7.379 meters per second speed. Sprinting's like 5.6 or something. Okay, so if we summon in our frog, frogs technically don't have any attack strength given to them. When they go and eat a magma cube, it'll always do the most amount of health to kill it. And the reason is that it's actually just despawning the mob as opposed to actually killing it. There's no damage done to the magma slime, except for maybe emotional damage of being turned into a light. We give it the max amount of health, it's not gonna matter because it didn't actually use an attack, it just disappears it. That's actually probably the most accurate representation of unaliving that I've seen. They just rewrite you from history. All right, now we're talking about the glow squid. As of 1.21.2, there are now baby glow squids, which is parity with Bedrock. It's kind of cute. So the only way they're gonna find these is that if they spawn naturally. Oh yeah, it's definitely smaller when you look at it like that. This does not look like a horse. I think we've kept the stable under poor conditions. Anyway, horses have an increased immunity to fall damage. Whoa, all right, there we go. So if we push off the horse from 6 blocks, it'll be safe from all fall damage versus like if you push me off from 3 blocks, that is my safe distance. Now the unsafe test, after 4 blocks is where other mobs like the villager would start to take damage, but 7 blocks is how much it takes to actually start to do any damage to our horse, which I feel like I damage my horse from fall damage pretty often. So I guess I'm dropping it off of 21 feet drops. I mean, I can understand it not being the best for it, nor is that. That's now it has 0 feet to drop. Disappear the scene of the crime. So the thing about mushrooms is that they have a secret variant. And the way that we get this is a little barbaric. We have to lightning strike it during a channeling trident or a lightning storm. And then that'll give us the weird brown mushroom, which when you take a bowl, you can milk it with a flower of your choice. I like to give it a dandelion or something. And now we can milk it for suspicious stew. And dandelions are always the best because these give you saturation. So it fills up a whole bunch of food items. Very handy to have. Oh, you shouldn't have. Oh, there you go. You really shouldn't have. That's actually incredibly eerie. Just the still frame of you just, do you like what you ate? So, just like in real life, mules are hybrids and they can't be bred together. The only way to get them is to breed together the horse and the donkey, but the mules themselves are completely celibate. They're not going to be able to breed anymore. Yeah, we go and take these 2 mules. They'll eat up, but it's only to tame them. It's nothing to do with breeding. I hear you out, but I'm just not feeling it, honestly. I'd just rather go for some grass. Ocelots in Java Edition's code are actually counted as monsters, and they spawn the same way under the same conditions that hostile mobs do. So if you're on peaceful mode difficulty, I'm assuming if we switch over to peaceful mode right now, they're not going to disappear, but they just don't spawn naturally. I never knew that ocelots were not to be trusted. There's a lot of not trusting in this video already, and we haven't even gotten to all of the mobs. So if we get a parrot out and we get it to play its idle sound number 6, so we only have a chance of it playing this, it does randomize with the play sound command. One of them, idle 6, is a distorted version of the word hello in English. That's gotta be it. Hello. So there you go. And I mean, parrots, maybe they're hearing us. That would be really cool. I don't know if I've seen anyone make a mod that takes simple voice chat and makes it work with parrots, but that would be awesome. Back when Minecraft achievements used to actually be called achievements, we had this one, which was, if you rode a pig off of a cliff, you would get when pigs fly. That looks more like when pigs die. But by riding the pig off of a 5-block tall height, that would get you the achievement. And actually, now that it's advancements, we don't have this anymore. There's still plenty of things that are about killing mobs, but but for now, no more for our pigs. Which actually is just removing a feature from saddled pigs. Now you really don't even need to do them anymore. I thought it was funny, but I'm not a pig, despite the negative press media. So by using pufferfish in a setup like so, we can make an effective player proximity detector. So I go and take my pufferfish in a bucket like so, place it inside of this setup, and now when it puffs up and I'm not in creative mode, it triggers only then the tripwire hook, giving us a player detector. And I remember back when we did our old list videos, this was like my favorite thing to show off. I thought this was so neat. And before skulk sensors, this made a lot more sense. Does it happen even if you're sneaking though? That might make it a little better than skulk sensors. Yeah, there you go. So even if I'm sneaking, which a skulk sensor wouldn't be able to detect, they still can. The killer rabbit variant, which a lot of people know, used to exist in the game, and you could still spawn it in using the certain rabbit type 99 command, but it actually used to have a 1 in 1,000 chance of spawning, and then it was a 1 in 2,500 chance, until eventually it was removed because Jeb said the joke had been overplayed. But could you imagine just going around in the game, and all of a sudden you come against one of the strongest mobs? Look at that, that's 6 hearts. For what? A rabbit? But when they do that much damage, I get why the Ravagers used to be scared of them, back when they were called Illager beasts. So salmon, oddly enough, have this feature as opposed to cod. I didn't know this. They can swim up a 4 to 5 block tall waterfall, simulating real life salmon. There's also different salmon sizes. Look at this, we've got a big salmon, a small salmon, a medium salmon. Oh yeah, now we have the bedrock parity to give us different sizes. I like that they can swim up the waterfalls. That's neat. I like that they have any bit of variation to the cod. All right, so sheared sheep actually do not need grass blocks. I had no idea about this, but they can actually just eat the short grass item or the tall grass block in the world. So we should eventually see this. It's only mud in the pen, except for a bit of short grass. Granted, it's not gonna regrow, so it's still not the best thing to use for them, but I didn't know that they could actually just eat these. Oh, here we go, we can see it eating. All right, so they can't eat off of mud blocks because when you're standing in mud, you actually sink in a little bit. Here, you can see it with me. Even though mud blocks don't visually look lower, you do sink into it quite a bit, actually. So they don't eat it because they think that they're inside the mud. But we switch it over to this muddy mangrove roots, then they're completely fine. The skeleton horse, unlike other undead, can actually breathe underwater. And because we can ride them, this actually makes them have a distinct use to being the only horse that you can ride underwater, and it won't dismount you like so. I mean, what's cooler than just riding out into the ocean like this? If you're an ocean monument and you saw this riding up like a metal album cover, well, I hope you guys enjoy. So, okay. Well, dispose of the evidence and we'll move on. All right, so the Sniffer's laying down animation, like we're gonna see here, hey buddy, was inspired by corgis, and that makes a lot of sense. I mean, look at those little stumpy legs. How else are you supposed to animate it? So when it splays out, here we go, total corgi vibes. Digging up in my backyard when I asked it not to. Oh, perfect. It's just like every well-trained dog. It's so proud of himself. Well, I don't want to kill off the Sniffer, so I'm just gonna go into a hole and you can let me know. All right, yeah, there we go. Just take him off to the balloon. Wow, he looks so happy. So snow golems are actually completely immune to fall damage. In that way, they're like iron golems as well, but it doesn't matter what height you drop them from, they're always safe, which makes sense, right? I mean, powdered snow removes your fall damage, so why else wouldn't snow do that? Let's drop it from the top here, but if we go see our test subject, completely fine. It even looks like an MLG clutches when it places down the snow layer. Just like, oh, perfect. Well, that's not a great spot to be in, but at least he's fine. He can come off at any moment. He's not gonna die from fall damage. So if you kill them, they could still lay snow. Oh, look, you're spreading their remains. That's horrible. So squids, unlike ambient mobs, can actually be name tagged and leashed. I can, in fact, use it in a lot of different ways. And I think part of this is just because of how old they are, that they got grandfathered into a lot of this stuff. I think nowadays, if they were added, they wouldn't have a lot of these features to them. Look at how easily it breaks off the lead. That's actually kind of, they yearn to fly. So there used to be an old update where squids would just float around and stuff. So striders hate being cold, but they especially hate being especially cold, because if we were to take our striders and put them into powder snow, unlike other mobs, they take increased damage to powder snow, which is just horrific. I don't know why they had to go through the effort of explicitly coding that in. But yeah, look at that. It takes like 2.5 hearts of them every time. That's shocking. I'm sorry, but here, you can come with us. I won't let it hurt you anymore. So if you were to take a tadpole, like so, feed it exactly a stack of slime balls, that'll speed up its growth process in such a way where as soon as we place it down out of the bucket, it'll instantly turn into a frog. All right, and a good way to show this off is going over to the nether. So usually it would just suffocate, but if I place it down like so, sure, the water's not gonna be there, but our tadpole friend should be fine, thank goodness. Okay, it didn't fall off. And now we've got the warm variant of the frog. So if you wanna get all the frog lights, just do that and then bring the tadpoles with you from the mangrove swamp into any biome that fits the cold, the temperate, or the regular variants. So this is the tropical fish. Whoa, okay. So there are 3,072 naturally spawning variants of tropical fish in Java Edition, but only 22 of these are base variants with actual names. Those names being anemone, black tang, blue tang, butterfly fish, cichlid, clownfish, cotton candy beta, dotty back, emperor red snapper, goatfish, Moorish idol, ornate butterfly fish, parrotfish, queen angelfish, red cichlid, red-lipped blenny, red snapper, threadfin, tomato clownfish, triggerfish, yellowtail, parrotfish, and yellow tang. Well, now we got just a bunch of dead ones and a bunch of Nemos. Turtles will always remember their home location, and that means homes are stored when the turtle hatches from an egg or is summoned at a particular spot. And that's important information because they will always return there to lay their eggs. So if they remember those sand blocks being the ones, they will always return back to that sand block, pathfind to it in fact, to go lay its eggs. And now we've got the eggs. You can't leash turtles? Yeah, sure enough. Leads have a very weird set of circumstances for what works with them and what doesn't. So the villagers actually have a regular day schedule, and it's actually possible to learn this schedule too. The way that villagers work is that they will sleep, wander/work, then they gather, wander, sleep. So if you're wondering why your villagers aren't breeding, they will not breed if they're employed and it's during working hours, which I just think that's good practice, honestly. I'd rather my employees at least wait. And then the children, they have a pattern of sleep, wander, then play, wander, play, sleep. I don't know what play is for them, but sure enough, they change up their things different times. Oh look, it's playing right now. It bounces on the bed. I mean, I guess that's cool. I'd like an easier way to tell what they're doing, especially because they're not emoting or anything. Okay. So the Wandering Trader, its milk bucket and invisibility potion have a chance to drop if you kill it while it's drinking it. So if we change it over to nighttime and then kill it. Oh, we didn't get it that time. Okay, so it's not quite yet. You can actually get it to drop its bottle. We're the worst bartenders in history. Hello, welcome in, sir. No outside food or drink. So it's an 11.5% chance with looting 3. I feel incredibly unlucky then. Whoa, okay. Hey, there we go. Oh, fantastic. We're gonna need these to hide from the cops. Well, the same happens if we set it over to day. Sorry, Mog Swamp, you're probably not gonna wanna watch this part. Hey, I got a milk bucket. That's a lot of effort. I'd rather just stick to a cow. So, despite not actually spawning anywhere near them, bees can surely enough pollinate chorus flowers. And that's new as of 1.20.2. Look at it, it's so happy. And it doesn't do this with netherwort, so it's just chorus flowers, weirdly enough. Which stinks, because it would be so much better if we could actually use them with netherwort. I guess they don't germinate the same way. Yeah, sure enough, I'm seeing pollen show up. So if you want to speed up your end farm, I guess you could bring these over to the end. They're not gonna sleep. On easy difficulty, cave spiders do no poison damage. All right, so ow, 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 ow. I forgot we're on tick sprint. Ow! Oh, that was a jump scare, Observer. What in the world? Oh my god, that scared me so much. All right, sure enough, no poison damage. I guess that's one reason to play on easy difficulty. Just don't tell the commenters you're playing on it. So, dolphins are considered neutral mobs, despite what we might think, and they actually will fight us in packs, similar to how wolves and bees do. How do you get hurt by a dolphin, though? I've never even think that I've been in a situation where I have been hit by a dolphin. I'm punching it. Oh, now I got it. Okay, well, that guy's gonna be a little neutral. Ow. Yeah, sure enough, the dolphins attack you. What's this, SeaWorld? Well, if you want to see the world, look down. SeaWorld has been closed for further notice. In Java, drowned with tridents will be neutral during the daytime. They will only attack if provoked. Or if it turns over to night, then they will attack me. Ow! But at daytime, I guess they're just blinded by the light. Well, now they're provoked because we turned it to nighttime. Wow, they got serious range on these tridents. So they're neutral to me right now, but if I were to go step in like this water block right here. Ow! Okay, sure enough. So water is the trigger for them. Oh, interesting. They're territorial. They're kind of like the polar bears then. Endermen are the only mob that can currently spawn in each of the dimensions naturally. So because of our warped forests over in the nether biomes, we can now get them here. Obviously they spawn in the end, and then the overworld, yeah, we've seen them that whole time. Okay, there we go. Sorry, buddy. But this leans into the source material of them being interdimensional travelers. So foxes will use any item that's inside of their mouth. So if we use their AI to go after chickens, then sure enough, if it's holding a fire aspect looting sword, you now have a pretty effective chicken cooker. Oh yeah, this is Steve approved. Let's ring that bell, the Mamacita. Oh yeah. Just in the song, he's like, ooh, Mamacita, now you're ringing the bell. And then it just deafens him and he goes, ah, my ears. Yeah, if you even give them a totem, you could sure enough kill it and it'll respawn. Hey! And right back to sleep. Yeah, I'm sure dying takes a lot out of you. So the goat will automatically avoid powder snow. So look at that. We got powder snow here in the blocks. Will fall in, but it'll actually successfully pathfind over it. So we have this very specific spiral here, and it'll always avoid it. That's actually pretty cool for the mountain goat idea. If you want to avoid falling in, use a goat. I actually think that would be a cool idea for a map, saying like, okay, you gotta go follow the goat or else. It's a glass bridge. Well, you can only follow it so far. Come on, buddy. I can't have anyone be better than me. There we go. If we were to spawn an iron golem and then kill off a wandering trader, it doesn't attack us at all. They just don't care about those guys, which further cements the theory of them being completely disavowed. They're excommunicated. When a zombified villager is more redeemable than you, that's pretty bad. Llama. Whoa! All right, so including all the different fur colors and carpet clothing variants, there are 64 different types of llamas that we can find. But that's kind of fun. Exactly a stack of different llama variants. I like that. Though that's not including the strength genetics. If you include those for the llama's storage space, then that brings it up to 320. Which, wait, that's the build height. And this technically doesn't include the wandering trader llama. That's its own separate mob. So there is a variant of pandas called the worried panda. Now they won't eat on their own. They have these little sad eyes and they hide from mobs and thunderstorms. Yeah, look at it. It runs away from the bogged. Oh, look, it cries. Wow. He's scared of the thunder. Wow. There's a lot more effort put into this mob than I think a lot of people realize. Like, they went on location and recorded panda sounds for it. For what? For me to press this button and move on to section number 43? Piglins. So piglins, funnily enough, will actually pick up raw pork chops and cooked pork chops, though they won't follow after them. So if we get out a hoglin, they'll hunt after the hoglin. Each piglin has a 10% chance to start the hunt. We got a lot of them and none of them respond in the hunt. So really, no one, I hate this guy just looking at him. No one wants to go after this guy? Do you have to be in the nether? Oh, there we go. Well, they didn't pick up the pork chops. Well, they really don't like starting a hunt. Big news from PigCon. Everyone's having a great time. Officials are saying it's getting bigger and better every year. Oh, they're off. Wow, they're doing like the method of running it off the cliff. Oh, now they're getting mad at each other. Come on, fellas, set aside your differences. So when do they pick up the pork chop? Oh, we have mob griefing turned off. Okay, we'll put up a clip of them actually picking up the pork chops. You can see here, this is after a successful hunt. They're picking up the pork. In Java, adult polar bears will attack a nearby fox if it stays there for too long. However, baby polar bears will attack foxes immediately. Well, that just makes sense. Your kids can only be so polite. Go on, get it. Yeah! Got a lot of hunting this episode. I guess Minecraft is big game. Spiders and cave spiders are neutral mobs, and they aren't neutral based off daytime, but off light level. So light level of 12 or more makes them neutral, but 11 or less makes them hostile. I had no idea. I guess I haven't torched up the caves enough. I genuinely thought that there was no amount that they would be fine with me, but sure enough. Oh, as soon as it's stepping out into the light level that's lower, it gets angry at me. So now I'm fine. So literally the safest way to go against a spider is just a bunch of torches. I surely thought it was daylight. So trader llamas are considered different entities to the regular llama, notably the fact that they'll go after you if you attack a wandering trader. And while you can't tame them, if you breed them together, you can breed the wandering trader llama baby, and then then this will be tamed for us. And now if I put on a carpet, my incognito wandering trader llama. So as of 1.20.5, the armored paws drop, our wolves not only got to last longer with wolf armor, but they also, tamed wolves now have 20 hearts of health as opposed to the regular 10. That's double the amount of health that we have, Observer. And then if you add on wolf armor, they're technically invincible until that armor breaks. And now this is the strongest mob in the game. I could go and take a mace and drop from like the top height. It won't die. Its armor's not doing too great, but it did just fine. The zombified piglin. So the adults will drop 5 XP, pow, while the babies drop 12 compared to the creepers 5 XP. That's shocking. I didn't know that the babies drop so much more here. And they drop an additional 1 to 3 XP if their sword doesn't drop. Now the sword drop is an 8.5% chance at the base rate. So actually a looting sword gives you a worse chance of getting experience there. So I guess kill the babies? That sounds like I don't know if that's the message we want to pass along. A baby zombified piglin with a sword? That's an XP battery right there. Blazes actually do have a melee attack, and they'll do between 4, 6, or 9 damage on easy, normal, or hard modes, respectively. Yeah, so you're just getting actually just brushed up against by the blaze. So look, it's going after my shield right now. Ow, ow, ow. It's weird. I guess you normally just see their fireballs being so much worse. So if you wanted to, you could take your bogged and shear the mushroom off of its head for an inefficient mushroom farm. Particularly why this is inefficient is because the mushrooms never regrow. So the only way to do this is either ground farming or you use trial spawners. I don't know if they're really going to take that nicely to bone meal. Come to think of it. If you're 1 to 2 blocks away from a breeze, it'll not choose to attack you. So this is a good way to go and attack those breezes, is if you just go chase up next to it, you'll be completely fine. So if you're low on health in a trial chamber, literally just go brush up next to a breeze. You'll be fine. No melee attacks for them. So to count as a kill for the advancements of killing every mob, you actually have to go and break the Creaking's heart. So we set it to night, get the Creaking to spawn, and then I got to go after the Creaking heart somewhere in this tree. Oh, there you go. It's up here. Hey, buddy, just stay right there. Oh, the sound it makes is terrible. So if you want to get the mobs hunted achievement, remember to break this. That actually counts for Monster Hunter achievement too. It's just not likely to be the first mob that you're killing. So if we were to have a skeleton with a flame bow, shoot towards a TNT. So if we can get it to hit the TNT and then that kills a creeper, it'll drop a whole bunch of music discs because the TNT is actually counted as an assist from the skeleton, giving us the most effective record farm. Oh my gosh, look at how many I got here. I think that's just so cool. I love the idea that you can make a record farm like this. So the Elder Guardian fatigue applies once after spawning and then once each additional minute after that. So if you milk bucket the fatigue, you can circumvent the effect usually for about a minute at a time. Now, if you are in an ocean monument and you get it again, it's because there's 3 of these guys that are spawning in the monument. They each could be on a desynced schedule. But if there's just one, now I'm fine. I can go and do my cobblestone farming. This is a very weird cobblestone farming, but you know, what mother wants, she gets, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I would honestly just rather use this and kill off the thing so that I don't have to deal with it for any minutes. There we go. Now we don't have to worry about it again. An often forgotten mob, and one of the reasons might be is that endermites will actually despawn after 2 minutes regardless of player distance. I didn't know this at all. I didn't know that they had different despawning conditions, and that's one of the frustrations that you'll see when you spawn one of these for like an enderman farm, is that you have to instantly name tag it or else. All right, so the evoker, as a reference to Age of Empires, will change our blue sheep into the color red, and it even plays the sound effect Wooloo from the game, and it does this to any blue sheep, which I think is pretty fun. Is that actually a way to like distract them while they're fighting you? No, it's not. No, it's not. I thought that would be like a fun distraction method. It definitely wasn't. Now I've got blue dye, and you're gonna see how a red dies too. You know what's always shocked me about the evoker? It drops a totem of undying, but it doesn't use a totem of undying. It's just like, I'm saving it for later. I'll save that for when I really die. Ah! So despite being a ghost, or like a ghost for the ghast, oh, that's our little happy ghast skeleton, they're actually not classified as undead. And what that particularly means is that if I was to use the smite sword on that husk, it's better for that, but you're not seeing any blue particles here. It does no benefit for the ghast, which is weird for the only one being really themed as a ghost. And I guess now that they're remaking it to be like these are the bones of the ghasts, they're not even really ghosts. It's very strange to me. So the Guardian's Eye eyes will follow and stare at nearby players. And notably, this even happens when they have the no AI tag. Look at how creepy this is. It really is just like a seeing eye illusion. Oh, hey, buddy. There you go. I really feel like you could tuck this into something neat. Like if you had the trap door, the mangrove trap door, and you flipped it up. Yeah, look at that. Make like a creepy grandfather clock thing. I like this. The watch totem design. Hoglins. Not to be hunted this time. They can be repelled a few different ways. So hoglins hate the warped fungi because they think it smells bad. And also placing down nether portals will scare them off, usually because they know if they go through, they're going to turn into zoglins. But this one, I didn't actually know this. They're scared of respawn anchors too. I guess that makes sense. It has a nether portal at the top. I guess that would freak me out too. Ow, maybe it should have. So if you bring some of these over from the warped forest over into the crimson forest, you can stay safe. Pretty good technique. So actually, there's a way to get copper from husks, if you believe it. We can convert our husk with water into a zombie, and then the zombie with water into a drowned, giving us a way to get copper from our husks. That is, if you have enough time. There we go. Now we got our zombie, and with enough hydration, we've got the drowned. Kill enough drowned, you get yourself copper. I would actually like if the husk had a unique drop for it, but no renewable sand just yet. So magma cubes will continuously do damage to players that they collide with. Through the immunity frames that you have, this becomes an attack that hits you roughly every half a second. So this differs from normal mobs that actually have a distinct attacked target and time cooldown. And also, the small magma slimes of magma cubes, they actually always do damage at any size. So they're not even like slimes. They're just so much worse. I hate magma cubes for every reason. They hit you on every frame imaginable. Are you kidding me? So the phantoms will spawn regardless of biome and other spawning rules, which means that they're the only hostile mob that can spawn inside of the Mushroom Fields biome. And funnily enough, they can even spawn down in the void. I had no idea about that. In fairness, I'm not exactly taking my my spring break over to the void regardless. But sure enough, if you're hanging out in your void base and you're not sleeping because you can't place a bed down there, ouch. You know what I mean? Like that sucks. The piglin brutes actually do not do a victory dance after a hoglin hunt. So there's a rare chance of piglins doing a victory dance after the hoglin hunt, but the piglin brutes are so serious that even if they go and do it, they won't celebrate. They do half of your health every time that they slap you with no axe, no nothing. They're just doing that for the love of the game. I hate them. They just suck. Someone who doesn't like to dance isn't a friend of mine. Pillager's crossbows will break after 465 uses. Oh, we're gonna be here for a while. Oh, he broke it. He's already good. Now he just holds his hands like that. He's so polite. Once they become passive, they actually can't even melee us. They're only meant to shoot, so they won't even attack us or villagers. However, if you spawn in an iron golem, they still can't see past it. I'm actually kind of amazed that he's not going after him right now. There we go. You can only be reformed so much. Ravagers are one of the few mobs in Minecraft that can break blocks. Actually, this goes because of a design philosophy in Minecraft. The player builds, so they didn't really want the mobs to be about destroying. However, the Ravager will destroy different plants and leaves and such. So landscapers beware. You're in for, I guess, more work. Actually, that sounds kind of nice if you're a landscaper. That's like, oh cool, at least I'll have a perpetuating cycle for my job. They break crops and everything. They just suck. I just hate Ravagers a lot. So shulkers are actually able, through specific commands in Java Edition and Dye in Bedrock, to be changed with their team colors through scoreboard commands into different colored shulkers. Look at this. I think this is such a cool feature, and it's a shame that it's not easier implemented. But look at that. The idea of having camouflage shulkers, they were originally supposed to camouflage in the code, but it didn't end up coming in. But could you imagine just having like a grass block colored shulker? Even just shulkers that did a rough color map to the thing. Like if there was a red shulker on Netherrack or something, I think that would just be cool enough. You don't have to go overkill. Silverfish don't just spawn inside of strongholds. They also can spawn in mountains, windswept hills, igloo basements, I didn't know that one, and the mansion's false portal rooms. So this is an example of the fake portal room found in mansions. And then if I were to go take my pickaxe out and do a little mining, sure enough, the stone down here is all infested. Well, I wouldn't trust the pillagers to exactly go expensive for their block material. I get it. Funnily enough, having silverfish in their portal room is the most authentic thing about it. All right, we gotta kill off these before they go and infest all our concrete, observer. Skeletons, unlike zombies, will always stay under cover when attacking the player. Well, apparently. I guess this one hates you so much, observer. So it won't chase after you into the sun. It'll actually just try to stay back at the cover where it can to shoot at you. He wasn't very good at it. This guy seems a little better prepared. He's not gonna burn up. Yeah, so as long as they're not too dumb. If they're able to shoot you from underneath the tree, they'll stay underneath the tree to kill you. So just stay away from forests then if there's a skeleton. skeleton. I don't know what to tell you. If I were to get a size 3 slime, it'll jump 3 blocks to try and get to me. So that makes sense, right? Now we get in a size 30 slime. Here we get the jump size over to size 30. And then if we want to get really dastardly, we can go all, ow. Yeah, they also scale their damage too. So in fact, one of the strongest mobs in the game is a giant slime or magma cube. And then Observer, while I'm flying up here, could you spawn in a size 100? There we go. This one actually might be stuck because it's got parts of the mod showcase set inside of it. So the magma cubes, max size, are able to jump up high enough where they actually just despawn. That's hilarious. So magma's vertical, slime is horizontal. You can turn skeletons into strays by submerging them in powder snow. And actually, as Razeworks has pointed out in a farm in the past, doing this usually makes their gear even better. So if you have a skeleton spawner, you can go and push them through powder snow, kill them off that way. You get even more loot for the same skeleton spawner. It is gonna take a while. Hey, there you go. And then, you kill it off as you would, and that's pretty good. You get even better slowness arrows from this too, which is way less of a pain than crafting them on Java. So the Vexes will intentionally try to get behind you and attack you. Oh, we can kind of see this with Observer here. So they try to get the sneak attack on you. They just suck. Let me just put that out there. They're not my favorite. Although, looking at this sign, I guess I didn't realize that they actually look quite a bit like the Totem of Undying. Maybe some weird evoker magic. You can take the Vindicator and then rename it into Johnny as a reference to The Shining. And now it'll kill off any mob that is around it. Well, that was kind of given. If I were to give like an armadillo or an axolotl or something, it'll go and kill off all of these passive mobs. It actually becomes a pretty good way to farm things too. So if you want to go get your passive mobs killed off in this way, you could sure enough do it with a Johnny Vindicator. So what they're showing off here is that we can have a Johnny Vindicator that is a Vindicator without commands. Look at it. It even goes after it without the axe. So these are both Johnny Vindicators because it's an NBT tag. And now we've got like, here's Johnny. Look, he comes after you. He's a where's my hug guy. I can't imagine anything worse. In an Ask Mojang interview, developers confirmed that the Warden's sounds were partially inspired by the scary noises in Music Disc 11. And come to think of it, Music Disc 11 was added all the way back in Java 1.0.0, all the way back in 2011. This, I know you're showing me off your new mixtape, Observer. I know you got your music, your SoundCloud you're showing off. This isn't my favorite. I'm sorry. Maybe something a little more traditional. You got Hot to Go? All right, that's hot to know. Got kind of a weird witch hut here. This is like the upscale witch hut. They're gentrifying the witch huts now. So if you punch a witch, that'll cause it to drink a potion instead of throwing one. And if you notice, every time that it drinks a potion, its nose lifts up a little bit and you get to see its mouth. It has a 2-pixel mouth. I think it's also the only case of a nose moving. Like if you have the villager nose, the villager noses don't move. Oh, the sniffer. That makes sense. Here we've got the Wither Skeleton. So Wither Skeletons have a 100% chance to drop their skull if they are killed by a charged creeper. So if I go and I take my flint and steel, I get down here and ignite. That is a 100% collection rate for the Wither Skeleton skull. And granted, it's a whole lot of setup. You got to go bring a charged creeper all the way over to the nether for that. Or I guess conversely, you can bring Wither Skeletons out into the overworld. That's a lot to do, but 100% collection rate, that's pretty cool. So if you were to feed a Hoglin the Crimson Fungus, usually this would despawn because it's a hostile mob. It should despawn if we go far enough away. But now it actually has some bit of NBT data changed in it where it's not a regular Zoglin. They gain the persistence required tag and it doesn't despawn. So you're welcome. Sorry about your face. Speaking of zombie, here we've got on location zombie. So zombie sieges are a rare event that happens in Java Edition. So at midnight, a group of up to 20 zombies can spawn if the player's inside a village. Whoa, okay, hey fellas. These mobs can even spawn inside of mushroom fields biomes if the player yourself is inside of an adjacent biome. So if you're in the ocean nearby, you could cause this to happen inside of the mushroom fields biome. What a terrible thing. I guess that's a good enough time to go on to the zombie villager fact. There's a rare chance for a chicken jockey to be a baby zombie villager. If the player were to cure the chicken jockey, yeah, that's right, and convert it, we're gonna get a villager jockey. Where was Jack Black doing this, huh? There you go. So now we've got one of the rarest mobs in Minecraft, really. Wait, and then if it grows up, we're gonna actually have a big-sized villager on this chicken? Hey, there we go. Wow, and now he's employed. He's like, well, I might as well make the most of this. You cannot directly spectate the Ender Dragon's perspective in spectator mode, but by using the spectate command, you can. Whoa, I'm the dragon! I'm spinning a bunch. This sucks. So only using the /spectate command. But there's nothing unique to see or anything, so it's not even that interesting. I can go to F5, that's kind of cool. It's like a drone shot if the drone was broken. While Wither armor is enabled at half health or less, it can still be damaged by sources like the Warden's lasers, even though it's supposed to be safe from all projectiles. So we got the armor enabled right now. So the Warden would do just that, or I can use my crossbows, which actually gives you one of the fastest ways to kill the Wither. I don't know why we're not having much luck here. Hey, there we go. Yeah, it's no joke. You can kill the Wither in like 7 seconds by using these. You just have to spam down a bunch. Oh, wow. He's really going for the hug, ain't he? Good work, buddy. The giant. Hey, well, actually, this is a good way to see how big the observatory set is, isn't it? So, giants are completely useless. They have no AI. They're not even considered undead, so the smite enchantment does nothing on them. Actually, if you want a giant that behaves with AI, what you would want to do is summon in a zombie and then give it the scale attribute. All right, so like a 6.5 scale. Oh yeah, look at that. We got 2 giants and one of them actually does something. It'll even attack me, as terrifying as that is. Oh, their hitbox is even correct. That's such a cool command. I love the scale attribute command. So if we were to have an illusioner and give it the glowing effect by using something like the spectral arrows, there we go. It gives all of the clones glowing, but the base one that you can see when it's on fire actually doesn't get the glowing effect. Also, that's a good idea if you want to see which one it is. Use a flame bow, because you can actually tell which one's which. But it's a unique behavior where even if you go into spectator, which usually lets you to see invisible mobs, you can't see the illusioner. Zombie horses cannot breed, but if they already have a Mountie, then they can be fed the same food type as a regular horse, because we can't right-click them to actually ride them. So the only way to feed them is if they have no other option. They're like, okay, if I can't give you a lift, I will take some DoorDash. Observer, we've got the new mob that's coming out, the Happy Ghast. If I go ride this out into our mod showcase area, not only is this a way to carry your friends, but it's also a way to make some new ones. Is it bedtime already? Because I think it's time for kidnapping. That's terrible. Here we go. So if I swoop low, I got him! And you can steal Bessie like this. So not only is that a way to transport villagers, but that's also a way to steal them out. And with that, folks, YouTube thinks that you might like this video. So see if they're right and have a good one, all right?